beautiful and sunny Orlando, Florida. And if there's water all over out there and fans all over around us, then this must be the Bud Wakeboard Series. And it is stop number 1 on the new year. I'm Dan Debenham, and this is Tony Finn, the contributing editor to Wakeboarding Magazine. And Tony, I have already seen at this very first stop a real rise in the level of competition. And I think that's probably because the sport itself is growing by leaps and bounds.
Hey, Dan, I think the proper vernacular is the sport is growing by air railies and slob front flips to fakie. I mean, everybody is going huge. The performance level of all the riders has grown so much that even the best wakeboarder in the world, Darren Shapiro, 3-time Bud Tour champion, didn't even make it into the final.
And that is saying a lot. And speaking of everybody saying things, they're talking about wakeboarding. Everybody wants one. Thanks for sending a wakeboard to my kids. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. I've been sending wakeboards to everybody. I mean, the sport is growing. You go to any lake around the country, and all you see is wakeboarding.
And here we will see kneeboarding as well. All the top pros are here, but we begin with the guys that stand up. One's out on the water. They are gritting their teeth and ready to go. This is the Freestyle Mastercraft Pass, and this is Zane Schwenk.
Now, in contrast to the Sea-Doo Pass, these guys really go huge. We got a special Mastercraft out here. This is a bigger boat than normal, a Maristar 200, and this has a big wake, and Zane is taking full advantage of that wake. The thing that's interesting about wakeboarding is every trick is an invert. I mean, every trick is worth 1,000, 1,200 points. It's unbelievable. Look at that, an air roll to revert for Zane's last trick. Man, oh man, a big pass from Zane.
9,950 points worth, and that will get you a great big smile.
Zane gets good carve into the wake here and turns the board back to frontwards. That's a fakie roll to front for Zane Schwenk.
Pass number 2 now. Can he duplicate his first pass? That would be tough to do. 25 seconds on the freestyle clock, and we are off.
Ooh, Zane Schwenk starts off with a backside air railie. Ooh, he almost goes down on that front side front flip. Zane not looking quite as smooth on this pass. Bobbles there again, too. The judges are going to take away for some of those bobbles. Ew, he breaks it the waist, almost goes down on the fakie roll to front and goes for a tantrum, but cannot hold on. His second pass was definitely not as clean as the first.
Not at all. 7,450 points. It is reflected in that right there for a
relax and keep my mind.
Times a new world record. Here we are in Orlando. Scott Byerly, the best in the world, on the water in the Freestyle Mastercraft Pass.
Boom! Scott Byerly starts off with a slob front flip to fakie. Look at the style. The way this guy rides is unbelievable. Every trick he's grabbing. That was an Indy Tantrum right there. Coming into the wake here, switch stance. That means backwards. Bingo! Switch stance front flip for Scott Byerly. Oh my God!
Wow.
He ends it with the Mobius.
Wow.
How smooth was that? That pass was
10,000.
insane.
10,343 points. He is on a world record pace right now as far as his points totals goes, and that's one of the reasons why. A fantastic Mobius.
Mobius was perfect. The handle pass was right there. Nailed it clean.
Second pass now for Scott Byerly, and even the plane wants a closer look at Byerly.
Now, if Byerly can pull it off here on his second pass, we could actually see a new world record. Look at how he grabs that front roll to revert. Gets a little style there by sliding on the wake. Boom! Grabs again, a nose grab front flip. All those grabs give you extra points. The judges love to see that kind of thing. There's a half cap Indy front flip. Scott pulling out all the stops here. A roll to revert. One more trick left right at the end there. A switch stance Mobius for Scott Byerly. I tell you what, that's going to be a brand new world record for Scott. Oh my, Scott has taken over as obviously the world's best wakeboarder.
Well, Tony, what is it that makes him the best right now?
He goes big, and he goes big with style.
Well, Scott is from right here in Orlando, Florida, and what a way to wow the hometown crowd. 120 points is the amount to beat, and Dean Lavelle will be the first one to get a shot at it.
You know, I'll tell you one thing about wakeboarding. Ho-ho! As Dean Lavelle starts off with a nice trick there. The thing is wakeboarding is really easy to learn. It's really easy to do, but it's hard to do these tricks. These guys are professionals, and the maneuvers that they do are very, very difficult. As Dean Lavelle does a nice air front flip right there, a front flip without a wake. Coming up here for a Whoa, an air Mobius. Dean Lavelle has got to be stoked with that first pass.
9,867 points, not bad at all. But Tony, we should not give away all the cash and prizes and wonderful gifts to Scott Byerly yet, because it's not outside of the realm of possibility that somebody could come in here and set another world record.
You're exactly right. I mean, these guys have been practicing very hard in the offseason. Here we are at the first stop, and you never know what can happen. Dean Lavelle certainly is capable of taking down Scott Byerly.
This is his second pass. He has 20 seconds more to try to rack up as many points as possible.
Dean coming into the wake backside here. A backside roll to revert. Dean Lavelle going pretty big here. Now he's in the fakie position. Starts to roll fakie, and then lands a fakie, and then does an air back to front. He's only got a few seconds left. Oh, a backside crip. That's a great pass, but it's not enough, I don't believe, to take over the lead from Scott Byerly.
What, you were taking a sneak peek ahead? That is not enough.
I'm just telling you, look at, now he's going big here, but he doesn't have the variety of tricks and does not have all the grabs and all the switch stance maneuvers that Scott has.
Score for Dean Lavelle.
Hey, last year, 19,000 points would go well in any competition, but today it's not enough. Here comes Jeff here on the water.
25 seconds and counting down. Keep your eye on that freestyle watch. That's the amount of time they have to put in as many tricks as they possibly can.
Jeff here, the winner of the Sea-Doo competition, so we know he's for real. He's a Canadian, but he lives now in West Palm Beach, so he can train year-round. And Jeff here has one more trick left. Goes for that Mobius. Ooh, he goes down on the Mobius. Now that's going to make it nearly impossible for Jeff here to overtake Scott Byerly.
7,987 points for Jeff here. Scott Byerly beginning to let a smile creep up on his face. He knows that Jeff here does have one more shot at it, though. Here's a nice replay of that final trick.
Now let's see, why does Jeff go down and why did Scott make it? Jeff over-rotates a little bit. The nose of his board goes a little bit too deeply into the water, causes Jeff here to go down on that Mobius. Boom! Jeff here's second pass. Starts off with an air railing. You know, a couple years ago, air railies were the biggest and most exciting trick, and only Darren Shapiro could do them. Now, everybody can do railies, and some people can do railies and land backwards, which is an air crip. So, I mean, oh my God, the level of competition has just gone ballistic here. Jeff here with only 2 seconds left on that freestyle clock goes for a tantrum, and he nails it. Jeff here.
9,133 points for Jeff. That is certainly a much improved second pass. He's already had a first pass with a score of 9,677 points, so he had a great first pass. Can he catch Scott Byerly, though?
Well, if there's anybody left that can catch Scott Byerly, it certainly is this guy right here, Jeremy Kovac, at 6 feet 1 inch and 183 pounds. He's the biggest, strongest guy on tour, and he shows it right there with his air Mobius for his last trick. But is that enough to catch Byerly?
It is not, Tony Finn. 8,883 points, and so this man, Scott Byerly, raises his daughter's hand up in the air as he is our winner. Byerly, 20,620 points. That's a new world record, followed by Dean Lavelle, Jeremy Kovac, Jeff here, Zane Schwenk, Tony